Strangest phobias people suffer from. In a relatively safe world, the part of our brain that alerts us to danger just seems to get bored sometimes. That's how phobias are born. In fact, phobia comes from the Latin word phobos. That means, seriously, you're scared of that? Psychology has compiled thousands of phobias to the point that it seems somebody in the field has made a hobby of inventing them. But there are some truly weird and ridiculous ones that actually do affect people. That being said, let's take a closer look to our top 10 strangest phobias people suffer from. Number 10. Optophobia. Optophobia is the fear of opening one's eyes. Yes, there are people scared of opening their own eyes. Although the act of opening our eyes is something that few of us ever give thought to, for optophobics, this simple daily act can be a nightmare. Number 9. Eisoptrophobia. How many times do you look in the mirror every day? Could you imagine not being able to use a mirror because you're afraid of it? For some people, this is a reality. Most people with this fear are not actually afraid of the mirror itself. Instead, they're afraid of the reflections within. Some people are afraid of their own reflection, others of reflected words, and still others of the mirror's potential link with the supernatural. Do you think a ghost can show up behind you when you look in the mirror? Definitely. People need to stop taking horror movies seriously. Number 8. Symmetrophobia. This is the fear of symmetry. A perfect circle is not the friend of someone who's afraid of symmetry. They might think of symmetry as perfection or extreme beauty that they aren't worthy of being around. Kind of crazy, right? People with this phobia will not have anything in their home that is symmetric, and they will have abstract or asymmetric paintings instead of symmetric ones. They may have symptoms of anxiety when faced with something symmetric and have palpitations, shortness of breath, tremors, chest discomfort, nausea, or vomiting. We definitely don't know where that phobia can come from, do you? Number 7. Arachibutyrophobia. Okay, this is one of the funniest phobias of this video. Don't you believe me? Let's see what the hell this phobia means. Arachibutyrophobia is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of the mouth. We have all been in this situation. Maybe we have been generous with the amount of peanut butter on our sandwich. The gooey mess sticks to our mouth, and it takes a bit of work to swallow the sticky delight. For most of us, this experience is quickly forgotten, perhaps even laughably washed down with a cold glass of milk. However, for a few select weird people, the very sensation of peanut butter fixing itself to the roof of the mouth induces a panic unlike any other. The person does not fear the peanut butter itself, although they may go out of their way to not eat it as a means of avoiding the sticking situation. Can you imagine having that weird fear? Peanut butter's too delicious to be scared of it. Number 6. Omphalophobia. People suffering from this fear are terrified of belly buttons, their own, or in some cases, those of the others. They do not like touching their navel, or even other people touching it. Sometimes, the mere sight of the belly button is enough to make them feel disgusted or terrified. These people try to avoid touching their own, even in the bath, and might cover their belly buttons with a bandage, or avoid going to places full of exposed navels, like the beach. Can you imagine a person with this phobia going to the beach? I bet they've never seen one. Number 5. Heliophobia. Heliophobia refers to intense, sometimes irrational fear of the sun. Some people with this condition are also afraid of bright, indoor light. We can say that they are some kind of vampire. Can you imagine a person living a life shrouded in darkness? She works nights and sleeps all day behind blackout curtains. If she must leave the house during the day, she slathers on a thick layer of sunscreen and hides behind dark glasses. This is the reality of a person suffering this absurd phobia. These weird people cover themselves with long, protective clothing, or carry a sun parasol when going outdoors during the daytime, or simply never go outdoors at all when the sun is out, depending on the severity of the fear. I guess they neither like to sunbathe on the beach. Number 4. Anthophobia. What do you think this phobia refers to? Fear of ants? Definitely not. It's a more absurd phobia. Are you ready? Okay. This phobia is an abnormal and persistent fear of flowers. Yes, flowers. It seems that the causes of anthophobia include negative experiences involving flowers, including in fiction such as scary scenes in movies or TV shows involving flowers. Can you imagine surprising one of them with a bouquet of flowers when you still don't know whether they have this phobia? They'd probably run away. It'd be funny to see that in person. Number 3. Nomophobia. Do you have trouble putting down your smartphone or feeling anxious when you know you'll lose service for a few hours? Do thoughts of being without your phone cause distress? If so, it's possible you could have nomophobia, an extreme fear of not having your phone or not being able to use it. Nomophobia describes the fear of being without or unable to access your smartphone. The symptoms of this fear have a lot in common with smartphone addiction, a dependence syndrome, and clinical addiction. Nomophobes and smartphone addicts spend an excessive amount of time on their devices. We are sure you're watching this video on your smartphone, do you? Number 2. Sesquipedalophobia. People suffering from this phobia tend to experience a lot of anxiety when faced with long words. It is indeed ironical that the scientific name given to this phobia is such a long one. They don't even search on the internet how to overcome this fear because they are not able to write the name. Who the hell named this phobia? He or she definitely wanted to laugh at these people. Like all phobias, the fear of long words varies dramatically in severity and effects from sufferer to sufferer. Some people are only afraid of extremely long, multisyllabic words, or those that are quite obscure. Others fear even moderate-length common words. Number 1. Trypophobia. Trypophobia is an aversion or fear of clusters of small holes, bumps, or patterns. When people see this type of cluster, they experience symptoms of disgust or fear. Upon seeing a dimpled piece of coral, bubble-filled bathtub, or even aerated chocolate, a person with trypophobia may become overcome with disgust or feel physically ill. They may feel their heart race, head pound, or skin crawl. Sometimes, even a narrative description of a triggering visual can incite these symptoms. No picture needed. What do you feel when you see these kind of images? Not gonna lie, these are a little bit weird, but having phobia to them, it's a little bit over the top. Which of these phobias do you think is the weirdest? Did you know they existed? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting and curious content. Also, hit the bell icon button so that you'll get a notification whenever we post a new video. See you next time. Goodbye.